Hi everybody, this is Dr. Shea from Align Life Chiropractic and Wellness, and today I'm really excited because we get a chance to start a 5-part video series that is all about how we need to live different. So this first video is going to be about introducing this concept to you and talking about some of the key components of it. And then over the next 4 videos, we're going to talk about really the most common reasons why in our modern world, what is socially accepted and encouraged is actually leading us to a lot of sickness and disease and injury, and most importantly, how can we live in a more congruent way to help avoid all of that? So to begin, I just want to let you guys know that there's a big difference between what is biologically normal and what is socially normal. So let's talk about that. So biological norms, those are the things that your bodies have come to expect based upon thousands of years of evolution. So these are the things that your bodies need in order to be able to be healthy and to thrive. Conversely, social norms are what we see right now in our modern world currently, and what we think is sort of normal and everyday and sort of the average type of experience that a human being would go through. One thing that I've seen consistently over the last 14 years of being in practice is that the people who are living very congruently with their biological norms, what their body needs, their bodies express health easily and abundantly. The further we move away from biological norms and we sort of go along with the crowd and live more congruent with our social expectations, the more we suffer ultimately. So if we can steer clear of social expectations and most importantly live different than the average individual, then we can have an opportunity to have that abundant health and be more aligned with our biological norms. So I think the reason why that this problem is happening is these days we want to focus on having our primary aim as comfort and convenience. Trust me, I get it, guys. I love comfort. I love convenience. I love to be efficient. I want things to work out easily and smoothly. I don't want to suffer. I don't want to have pain. The problem with this approach is that we've sort of taken it to a little bit too far, if you will. And because of this, now instead of providing the body with what it really needs, which sometimes is some hard things, it is a little bit of struggle, it is a little bit of uncertainty, because we've gotten away from those things and we've put our emphasis so much on making things easy, making things simple, we've unfortunately made it so that we are actually becoming now the sickest species on the planet. And I think that this is a really important topic. So again, we've just got to live differently. And a part of this different mentality is that we have to redefine what success looks like. You know, in the modern world, success often looks like driving a fancy car, having a big bank account, having a big house, maybe living a lavish lifestyle with lots of comfort or convenience. The things that come to mind are like, Uber Eats, like bringing food to your house, or, having a really cushy job where you're really not working very hard, you're kind of coasting, you're making cash on the side, everything's just kind of going along. These are things that on the outside, and especially I think on social media, they seem cool, and I totally get this. However, when you really look at this, oftentimes that philosophy is actually leading us to a path of uneasiness, a feeling of not being able to work a hard day's work and feel what that feels like in our bodies and in our minds. And it leads us down a path of oftentimes feeling anxious, sometimes depressed, and accordingly, again, our overall health ultimately ends up suffering. So what do we need to do about this? Ultimately, we need a new plan. We need a new strategy. We need to have a different North Star that's going to be guiding our efforts. We need to have some education on how to get there. We need to be really disciplined, which I think is one of the biggest challenges these days because it's easy to, sort of go after the next shiny object. And I think most importantly, one of the things we need is we need a community of like-minded individuals, because when you begin to live differently, sometimes people will call that, some of your behaviors may become socially extreme behaviors, meaning like, wow, you go to the chiropractor once a month, and you don't even have any pain. Why do you do that? That doesn't make any sense. You shouldn't go. You're wasting your money, right? Or why do you pay for organic produce? That stuff's just marketing and you're just gonna be throwing your money away. Or, why do you go and see a mental health therapist? You don't have any problems. The world is easy. It looks like you're being really successful. These are all things that, by redefining what success looks like for us and living differently, sometimes it shines a light on other people and their definition of success and how they've chosen to live their lives. And sometimes when people come to that understanding that seeing you healthy and successful and vibrant and having good relationships, sometimes that's a little bit jarring to them, and they're going to want to push back a little bit. And it's not because they want to be mean, it's just because it's sometimes a little bit painful to recognize that maybe the way that they've chosen to do things isn't necessarily aligned with our biological norms, and they're not putting their bodies in the right environment to be successful. So having a community of like-minded individuals gives us an opportunity to, when we kind of get the world pushed down upon us, to give a little bit more space and to recognize that, yes, live a little bit different than the average individual, but I feel really good about my decisions because it's logical and it's going to get me to where I want to go. So again, over these next 4 videos, we're going to talk about the 4 most common reasons why our social expectations inhibit us from living in association with our biological norms. And we're going to talk about how to live more congruently so we don't have to go down that path. So I can't wait to have these discussions with you guys. I look forward to having them with you. Please go ahead and look at some of our other videos on YouTube. If you like this content, please go ahead and like and subscribe. We'll look forward to seeing you next week for video 2 of the Live Different video series.